Motion got that away very nicely. He's well over the top of that, rolled the wrists over the shot.
Very good shot by Mosen. Full shot. Dropped in short by Dennis Uli. A shot that you probably won't see played on the 3rd, 4th and 5th days of this test match. Mr. Lippert will be keeping very low at that stage, but that was a good shot. And testing him with the short one, and Mosen getting the body right behind it. And just pulling it away in front of square leg.
Here's Lilly now to Madassa.
Shot. Maybe 3, 4 for Madassa. Dirk Wellham giving chase. Just won't reach the boundary. And well run by the Pakistan openers. 4 runs. And Mosen, even though he dropped his bat, he's had a few problems running between the wickets in recent weeks.
Thompson now coming in to bowl to Madassa Nazar. Well, good running. Good running by Mohsin Khan. Coming back for the second there. And that ball only went less than halfway to the boundary. But he sensed that Wellham had to come across quite a distance for extra cover. Graham Wood, the fieldsman, easy 2.
And there's a big appeal there for LBW. Nothing much from behind the wicket, nor much from Thompson. That seemed to come from 2nd and 3rd slip.
And that didn't look too good at all, because that ball was going down the leg side, but it did keep low, didn't it? And that's rather an ominous sign. Wicketkeeper Marsh going down the leg side in anticipation of collecting the ball down the leg side, but really just defeating the batsman Madassa because it kept low.
Everyone who knew anything about cricket was very keen to get a glimpse of this pitch, which has been written about so much just lately. That's in the air and dropped him. My goodness, what a magnificent attempt that was by Yardley. The ball hit back at him like a rocket. Yardley stuck his hand in the air and didn't manage to hold on to the catch, but what a good effort.
That ball was travelling like a rocket. And there was almost an element of self-defense there in Yardley's reaction to that. He went down with his hands clasped above his head like a boxer. And it was almost as though he was...
Oh, that's dropped. It's dropped. That was a decidedly simple little catch, bobbed up on the offside, the one they've been waiting for, and Alan Border has shouldered.
Notice Border's movements here. That bat had catch going up quite slowly. Border going out with his right hand. And it seemed that as he hit the ground, that ball was jarred out of his fingers. And the frustration on Yardley's face.
Well, that's caused Mosen to go down the wicket and have a bit of a slog. He's got away with it. It went in the air up towards mid-wicket. And Laird is out there. That was bad luck on Yardley's part. Border should have caught that. I think the dive at the end was because he was just a little bit late in moving. Another look at that. Bat pad up in the air. And Border getting it in his right hand out just before he hit the ground. And that was very definitely a great opportunity for Australia.
It almost seemed as though he pushed that chance down onto the ground. It was never at any stage firmly grasped in his hand. And it goes to show what happens even with the simplest of catches. He was a little bit wide of Border. He had a long, long way to go, let's be fair.
Here's Yardley now to Mohsin Khan. And for Bruce Yardley, it's a case of 3rd time lucky.
Here he goes, and up it goes. And this is going to be out. That's the stupid shot I was talking about. Thompson's got him. Well, what a hopeless shot that was by Mosen. And a tremendous spell of pressure bowling by Bruce Yardley.
One could almost see the concentration of Mosen evaporating until he went for this very, very rash shot, with the ball being extremely wide of the off stump, tries to put it over mid-wicket. The bat turns round in his hand. He slices it high into the safe hands of Thompson. So the first wicket has fallen, that of Mohsin. He's out for 17 and the total 1 for 4.
It's well bowled and a little inside edge, and that could so easily have bobbed up. That's very, very well bowled by Bruce Yardley. It's the end of his over, and the score 1 for 40.
Lilly to Madassa. Slower ball, off cutter, but nicely timed away by Madassa. Turn for 3 and perhaps look for 4. Well, just not as quick as he used to be.
Madassa was across to that one well, and he got it on the rise. This wicket is going to suit Madassa's game. He's got a lot of patience, and the slowness of the wicket will suit his game a lot. And I'm sure he's realized there's 100 for him here, possibly.
Good shot. Nicely fielded by Jeff Thompson. Fraction of a second undecided whether to bowl it in or throw it in, but the throw was as close to perfect as you could have when he had to come off balance. Yardley to Majid Khan. It was a pretty good ball, also a good shot and a great piece of fielding. It was a nice curving off spinner.
And Yardley once again curving that ball in the air as he did at Brisbane, and he's using this breeze well.
It's splitting the field on the offside. Terry Alderman, the fielder. Lilly bowls now to Majid Khan. Shot. Nice timing. Well, I'm doing the chasing. There's a chance of 4 here if they can run. It'll have to be a relay throw. And there it is. Overthrows go. They're up to 6 now. Can they do 7? Marge is going to come back. So much for me saying he's not running as fast as he used to. But we'll just have a close-up now of his heavy breathing. And there it is.
Right, Richie. He's almost down and out, but he's managed 7. And that should please him a little. It takes him into double figures.
Yardley to Majid Khan. Shot before. Slightly overpitched. Although he hit it into the ground, he hit it very, very fast away past the man at extra cover.
Well, that was beautiful timing. Majid really put everything he had into that shot. He didn't even bother to run as that ball streaked across for 4. Beautiful shot by him. He's well poised there to hit it. Looks in good form at the moment.
And that's a better shot. Beautiful stroke, that one. Good placing that away to the left of Terry Alderman. 1 for 65. Lilly to Madassa. Short run there from Dennis Lilly, and 4 runs. And that underlines, I think, what I was saying earlier. You mustn't allow yourself to get frustrated when you're bowling on a plumb pitch like this.
Madassa enjoying the pace of this wicket, and Dennis Lilly, on the other hand, not really relishing it.
Yardley to Madassa. There'll be 4 more. So once again, Yardley pays the penalty for straying down the leg side. He got away with it earlier in the over.
Swept that well, kept it down and swept it fine, and the diving Lilly couldn't cut it off. So that's 4 more to Mudasar. Really played that shot well. Kept the ball down and really played it fine.
Lilly bowls now to Majid Khan. That's the first one he's got to go. You can see the fingers there roll right over the top of the ball.
There it is. I think that particular delivery, beating him outside the off stump, will put some doubts in his mind and the pressure back on him again, because Lilly has got through him.
And again with another leg cutter. So that's really good bowling.
That was a beautiful delivery from Dennis Lilly, the leg cutter, and Majid now getting a very difficult time. Suddenly that seems to have lost a little of his confidence.
He's got that away. It was an extraordinary stroke for 4. Very ambitious and, in the end, very successful. That's 1 for 78. Yardley to Mudasar. Oh, well bowled. Almost was through there. A stroke similar to the one that dismissed Zahir up in Brisbane. Drift almost defeated Mudasar Nazar.
That was very close for Mudasar. And he was able to adjust himself soon enough, otherwise that would have been onto his pads too. Very good delivery from Yardley.
That's driven away on the offside, and it's relatively well placed. Dirk Wellham moving around from backward point there to keep the batsman down to 2. One. By him, he's played that shot on numerous occasions this season, and that going down to that very long boundary down there for 4. So a short attempted bouncer by Thompson, cut away in the air by Mudasar. And good shot from Mudasar, no one out there, and Jeff Thompson working up a lot of pace, trying to extract some bounce out of this wicket. He did that, but it was very slow, and that allowed Mudasar just get underneath it and just clip it away over the top of point. Long boundary out there. And Mudasar's 3rd boundary since lunch, so he's pushing the score along nicely now.
Yardley to Mudasar.
That's very wide. And that's the first really bad ball I've seen him bowl today. And that one dispatched out towards the point boundary. Yallam, the fieldsman there. And that too brings up the 100. So Pakistan now 1 for 100. And they'd be pretty satisfied with that start.
Mudasar going on to 49 with that shot from 2, but bringing up the 100. So 3 figures appearing on the board for the first time in this match. See how slow that wicket was, giving Mudasar all the time in the world to get back. And look where he is going to hit it.
It's also well played, and that's Mudasar's 50. And very well put together 50 by him too. And the MCG crowd responding by giving him a little cheer. They're not all that happy for Australia, but this young man has done a good job for Pakistan.
And has been in pretty good form most of the summer, Tony, except he's got into the 20s, 30s and 40s, and then when he looks like going on with the job, gets out. But today he's gone on with it, and he's notched his first 50 in the series so far.
1 for 101, Thompson to Mudasar. Just scored his 50, and what a good shot. Beautifully cut there, that ball down towards the 3rd man fence. It might not quite make the boundary, in which case they've probably run 4. It's a long boundary down there. It's just made it. So 4 to Modessa. Beautiful shot.
And Jeff Thompson bowling still with a lot of pace, but the accuracy not quite there. Modessa, a very strong cutter of the ball, very strong off the back foot. It was a good shot by him. Took one away in the air previous over, that one right along the ground.
Well, he's beaten him. That ball beats the outside edge of the bat. And that is a good one from Thompson. Modessa perhaps just getting a little bit confident. He could have left that.
Thompson been driving him back onto the back foot and keeping that one up, Tony, and Modessa very tentatively coming forward, just taking a half pace. And he should have had that front foot a lot closer to the ball. He's quick to look around. One of the few balls that's beaten the outside edge so far today's play.
And now it's going to be Alan Border, bowling left arm around the wicket. And there are going to be 2 attacking fieldsmen out there. Chappell's at slip. And we've got a forward short leg as well. Border. That ball wide outside off stump and beats Yardley there. He seems to dive over the top of that one. It's going out towards the point boundary. They'll get 3. Ellam's got it.
Some sloppy cricket from Bruce Yardley out there. Allowing Majid Khan to pick up 3 runs. Alan Border just being a limbering up delivery first off. Majid was able to get back and really hit it and curving away from Bruce Yardley.
And Border's had a little bit of a problem with those fingers on his left hand. He got hit there a few times while batting, and he's got them protected. That's a short ball, and that's hit away down through the mid-wicket area, and that should be 4. Very well timed, that by Modessa. It's Modessa is Majid. Very well timed. That's the end of the over. 1/412.
Alderman to Majid Khan.
Alderman wouldn't have bowled to this sort of field on too many occasions in his Test career. One pitched up and well played by Majid. That was beautifully timed. Getting it straight down the ground. Wood trying to cut it off, but not succeeding. Thompson eventually coming around from mid-off, and Majid goes for 3.
Nice on drive from Majid Khan. Terry Alderman well pitched up, just easing into the shot. Very little effort, and Graham Wood coming across trying to cut it off. Not able to do so, and well run by Majid Khan. He saw that there was 3 in it, and Jeff Thompson's arm been a little bit questionable over the years, and took one on his throw. Majid looking dangerous, probably for the first time in this series.
Another good shot, this time from Modessa, and almost the same shot. Played down the ground again. This time Woods after it, and once more they'll get 3. So nice timing that by Modessa.
And this is the way to play on this MCG wicket, straight up and down. And a perfect shot from Modessa, straight down the wicket, just eluded the stumps, eluded Graham Wood. It was well played. I always find there's so many wickets fall at this MCG wicket when players play across the line, but Modessa's certainly playing straight down the wicket, and that's good cricket.
Here's Modessa now, and he's facing Alan Border. Well placed. 4 runs, no man out there at deep mid-wicket. So anything Border drops short is money for old rope.
And that's the sign of the infrequently used bowler. Because sooner or later, Border, the left-arm bowler, will drop one short. That was a pretty good shot, too, by Modessa. Fully in control, hitting it in front of square and keeping well on top of the ball.
Alderman to Majid Khan. Good shot. Delightful cut that. No third man. So the Australian captain needing to start thinking now about field placings, accurate bowling, and the fact that he's lost the toss. Might be facing a big total. By the time he gets in there, things may not be quite as easy as they are now. Border, the left armour now to Majid Khan.
Lilly just returning the ball, yes, and I think we must always remember when we see Border bowling on such a wicket as this that he really doesn't have any margin for error, does he? Just drop the ball minimally short and it can be pulled or cut.
And there's 4 more, and couldn't be more timely to underline what Frank Tyson said.
Seven fours now to Madassar as a result of that very good back foot drive with Border straying in length. Not by much. It really doesn't need much on this wicket.
End of Border's over, 1 for 132. Alderman to Majid Khan.
And that's through. Alderman just showing a little bit of exasperation as that was almost a chance for Gully.
Was quite firmly hit by Majid Khan. Too sharply the man at Gully. And it can't go down to chance. It was out of his reach, but close enough on this pitch to cause the bowlers a moment of frustration.
Yes, it was very wide of Yardley. In fact, Majid himself committed an error in chasing the ball that was, when it started, fairly wide of the off stump.
Well, the modern field setting is not to have a third man. And you must pay the penalty for anything that's in any way loose. And Majid is a very good cutter of the ball.
And that's proof positive of that fact. He was well on top of that delivery from Terry Alderman, who has just strayed a little bit too much outside the off stump in the last couple of deliveries. He's just giving Majid too much room out there, and experienced Pakistan batsman was very quick to seize upon those opportunities. Was down, but it was only a technical knockout that he was quickly on his feet. He just slipped. In fact, he overbalanced, didn't he? His weight was going so far forward. It went way ahead of him and he did a forward roll.
And he's got him away again. Won't go for 4 this time. But if Majid wants to come back, they can take 3. And on Border doing the fielding. In that over, Alderman much too short all the time. 1 for 141. Well fielded. Not much in it. Very well done by Border.
Absolutely reflex stuff, this. Border whipping that ball in as Majid was stumbling forward, and he just had enough sense to look towards Border at the last moment and managed to slip his bat back into the crease.
Yardley to Madassar. That's split the field. Beautifully timed, away for 4 runs. And very good shot from Madassar.
Madassar picks this ball very well. It's the drifter, the arm ball. A ball that doesn't spin back, and it gives Madassar enough room on the offside to really hammer that delivery through the covers. I think Yardley feels he's got a chance against Madassar if he drifts the ball away outside the off stump. angles it across the right-hander.
And there's Majid's half-century. And a good innings it is, too. He's played it very well. Some excellent cutting. Some good driving. 1 for 148 with Majid 50. And Madassa now 75. And that must be a great thrill for Majid to make 50 on this ground.
Well, the next step is obviously to get 100. But again, as I said before, to get another 25 on the board, 75, and then go on from there. That's the aim.
And that 50 came in only 98 balls. Alderman to Majid Khan. To Northern Majid. 150 comes up to Pakistan for the loss of 1 wicket. Yardley to Majid Khan.
And mid-on all in a straight line. That'll be runs to Majid. In fact, I think it'll be 4 runs. It is 4 runs. That ball straying outside the leg stump and swept away by Majid to bring in yet another boundary. The end of the over, 1 for 158.
Madassa faces Dennis Lilly.
And it's off the middle of the bat too, just angling the bat there to get it past Dirk Wellham. And Laird coming around from third man. So 2 more to Madassa.
And that takes him 80% of the way to his 100. Very confident too.
It's a short ball and pulled away. Didn't quite middle it, but it's going away down towards the boundary. The outfield quite fast in that area. Thompson coming around very quickly, and there's nearly a collision down there between Thompson and Border, and it seems that with their feet they've managed to keep the ball in play.
Well, that was a very confused sort of situation down there at Deep Square Leg. It was almost a flashback to Jeff Thompson's soccer days. Dashing down the wing, putting out his foot and bringing off a good trap. And that ball almost going into the gutter. And just being stopped by Border's foot.
That's a good shot too, and an effort there by Border, who dives away but doesn't get anywhere near the ball. And just a little bit short, and imagine just leaning back and hitting it through the field.
Thompson to Madassa.
Well played. Now get 2 for this. And, while we're on young kids and holidays, it might be worth pointing out for those of you who are watching that there's plenty of cricket coaching goes on around the major cities during the holidays, and there's one in particular that I want to draw your attention to. Barry Knight, that famous English all-rounder, runs a coaching clinic up in Sydney, and he and a lot of other senior coaches get together with a lot of young players, and they run their coaching clinics in the mornings and the afternoons for 5 days a week. And for about $50, that's about $10 a day, you can home in and get the benefit of some pretty useful coaching. Good way to spend the holidays. It's a good shot. That's played high and wide over the top of mid-wicket, down towards that mid-wicket boundary. That's a fine shot there by Madassa. And so Madassa now into the 90s.
And after looking as though it was going to take him an hour after tea to score his 100, he's now flashing towards it. That was a very good pull indeed by Madassa. Moved well inside the line of the ball and hit it so early that he hit it in front of square. As you can see, his head's well inside the line of the ball. There's no danger to him whatsoever.
So with the crowd cheering for Lee, it's Yardley bowling off spinners around the wicket, and well played. Madassa hitting that out on the offside, and he doesn't seem to be too worried about the 90s.
And that was a well-flighted ball from Yardley. And sensibly, Madassa concentrating on the right thing. Not his 100, the ball that he has to face at the moment.
It's also well played. So he'll certainly get 2 for that. So on to 95 now.
Yardley just strayed a little bit there in line. He's bowled fairly intelligently, but if he does stray too far outside the off stump, there are an awful lot of open spaces out there in the offside field.
Yardley is about to change his attack again. Side screen moving across, so he'll go back over the wicket. Mudasa on 95, just 5 short of a century. Down the other end, Majid, of course, has 61.
I think this probably means that Yardley's changed his tactics. Instead of trying to float the ball away from Mudasa on the offside, he's now just bowling a little bit close to Mudasa's legs and pads and hoping that he can restrict his scoring and thus not permit him to move too easily towards his century.
That's the top edge, and Lilly could have him. He's gone. Yes, he's gone. So Mudasa out, caught by Lilly off the top edge there, trying to sweep the ball, and that's something he hasn't tried to do very much today. So that change in tactic there by Yardley, going over the pitch, and have a look at that smile. The top edge to Lilly, the end of Mudasa for 95.
And that must be a grave disappointment to Mudasa because he's played so well. Going for the sweep there, that ball didn't spin, it was the arm ball. It kept on coming. And as a result, it caught the top edge and flew as a simple catch for the mobile Lilly, who just completed the dismissal. Good thinking by Yardley, and bad thinking by Mudasa. He's out for 95, 2 for 1 equal.
Yardley to Majid Khan. 2 for 180. You may have thought that was an appeal, but it was just an involuntary shout. In the end, it was a shout of relief, I think, that he wasn't done a devastating injury. I don't think it was actually thrown for Yardley to try and catch it. It was meant to be thrown at the stumps. Dirk Wellham, 1 or 2 reproving glances there. There was a hesitation from Javed. Well, that was worth a throw. Yardley to Majid Khan. Oh, good shot. He's beaten 2 men there. That was a fine shot. He's hit it past Border and then past Alderman. And I reckon there wouldn't have been a yard between the 2 of them on the line.
Very fine placement by Majid, right between the 2 fielders, one deep and one close to the bat, and very firmly hit off the front foot. He moved his weight well there as he went to do that shot.
And that was well bowled. Certainly been the best of the bowlers today, Bruce Yardley. 200 comes up now for Pakistan. Great start for them. Oh, it's well into the final session, so it's more than a start, but 2 for 201 should be delight in the dressing room.
And this is the best they've done so far. And on this wicket, having won the toss, they must be pleased with themselves.
Full marks to Yardley. Anyone who can get a ball to do that on this pitch and confuse the batsman when he's made 73 deserves the congratulations he's getting now from Chappell and Rodney Marsh. Nice bowling. Majid Khan caught a short leg off Yardley.
See that ball lifted just a little, turned, and a simple catch, and Majid has departed, but all credit to Yardley. He's certainly bowled very well today. He's been the best of the Australian bowlers. And a fine innings from Majid as he goes back. He's come back into the runs. And I'm sure this innings will do him a world of good.
Three more or so here. Dirk Wellham, the fielder. Nice piece of throwing.
It's a good-looking shot by Zaheer, and he gets 3 for it. And quick running between the wickets. Now, perhaps these two are going to get some runs quickly. They're both good runners between the wickets, and they have a good understanding, too, between themselves.
Chappell to Javed Miandad. That's a good shot. Good shot for 4 runs. Well, so far we haven't seen any leg breaks. Just been off breaks. And Javed Miandad dealt very harshly with that one.
Beautifully picked and hit through the mid-wicket area for 4.
Here's Tony Greig now in the commentary box, and Keith Stackpole.
Thank you, Richie. If they have any test match. It's well played there by Zaheer. And they'll get 3. Alderman, the fieldsman. It's well played by Javed Miandad. That'll be 4. Beautifully driven there through extra cover onto the hard side of the ground. Net surfaces down there, and 4 runs.
Greg Chappell continuing that attacking field, and Bruce Yardley just getting a little tired now. He's bowled 30 overs. His length just straying a little. Not much protection on that offside for him, and Zaheer and Miandad both aware of those gaps, and anything that's up there, they're really laying the wood on it.
They might well end up going off a bad light. And it might be that Chappell will settle for that. That one's hit way down the ground. It's a no ball, that by Yardley, and Miandad left onto it very quickly. It was cut off just inside the boundary there by Thompson. So 3 young runs to Miandad.
It was a good quick call by umpire Dick French. Gave Javed Miandad the chance, opportunity to take toll of that no ball. Something that you don't see all that often these days, but Dick French quick to throw the arm out. Good call. Locked it in the air. It was his first no ball in 32 overs for Bruce Yardley. Didn't quite have enough legs to take it to the boundary. They still got 3 runs from it.
Thompson to Zaheer.
Zaheer beating Yardley in the gully there and looking for 2. And he'll get them. One of the things that really upset the Pakistanis now is the fall of a wicket. Very often in games in which I've played, and the light has been a little bit dicey, a wicket has fallen, and then of course the umpires have come off, and invariably when that's the case, the batting side believe they've been badly done by. Zaheer out there in his spectacles, and Javed Miandad down at the other end. That's a good shot. Very well played by Zaheer. Beautifully timed. That one over pitched by Thompson and hit to the extra cover boundary with a lot of authority.
And Javed Miandad down at the other end, probably getting into the umpire's ear, saying it's a bit dark, but Zaheer upsetting that theory with this beautiful cover drive. Very fluent player. Look at the wrists he goes through, and it was a great shot by Zaheer.
Well, the umpires have just asked batsmen whether they'd like to consider going off because they consider the light to be too bad, and all of a sudden Javed Miandad very happy. They didn't have any hesitation at all. They said, we'll give it away for tonight.
Well, that's a great day for Pakistan. I reckon if Javed Miandad had the opportunity at the start of play, he'd have settled for 3 for 245, even though there were a couple of his batsmen who were dismissed there to what he might term indiscreet strokes. Mohsin Khan certainly had a century there for the taking, I reckon, and he threw his innings away early on. Madassa, unlucky not to reach his century, and so too Majid Khan. Both those chaps played quite beautifully. The Australian bowlers, I thought they were quite a bit too short today. That's the quicker bowlers. Yardley bowled well, but I thought Lilly, Thompson and Alderman were all too short. They were pounding the ball into the pitch and making it easy for the batsman to play off the back foot. of the second day's play of this final test match, the Benson Hedges test between Australia and Pakistan at the MCG. Well, the key to yesterday's play lay very much with the pitch. The Australian fast bowlers were unable to get anything out of it. Pakistan finished at 3 for 245 at the close of play. Tony Greig is out in the centre now to report on the pitch on this second day.
A lovely day out here, nice breeze blowing, and yesterday, no problems at all for the batsmen, but heaps for the quick men, and for me, that makes a pleasant change. Well, things have changed just a little bit today, but I don't suspect that there's going to be any dramatic change in this pitch. After all, it's only going to be the second day. Before we take a close look at it, let's have a look at what it looked like yesterday. Of course, yesterday was the first day, and there it is. Those little cracks appearing and no real green grass. Well, today, the cracks have just widened up, and this is exactly the same area. The cracks have just opened up slightly more, so the moisture will be beginning to drain away in the surface. So I suspect the pitch will be just a little bit quicker, not too much, just a little bit quicker. And what the batsman will have to watch out for is the one that keeps low. Now, that might not happen today. In fact, this might be the best day on this wicket. After the second day, I think it might start keeping a little low. So I suspect it's going to be at its best, and I think the batsman will have a pretty pleasant time out here. But it's going to be nice to see how these quick bowlers handle a tough road.
Well, Tony Greig seems to think that there could be a little bit more pace and just a fraction more bounce there for the Australian bowlers, but I suspect that Yardley, again, is likely to be the most successful. We pick up play now in the second over of the day. The score's moved along to 3 for 250. Jeff Thompson is the bowler. He's coming in from the members' end, bowling to Zahir, who's on 24, and in the commentary box it's Bill Laurie and Frank Tyson.
Glorious shot.
That outfield just a little bit slower as the batsmen go through for 4 all run. That brings up the 50 partnership between these two experienced players.
In the air, he's got it away. It's 4 runs, but not all that well played. Zahir taking up the challenge. Hooked in the air. There was a man at backward square and deep fine leg, but it fell safely.
It wasn't a very good shot, I'm sorry to say. Zahir took that ball from in front of his body, and in so doing put it into the air, but safely, just a little bit too square for the deep fine leg fieldsman.
Greg Chappell making the change, bringing the man a little bit squarer at deep fine leg and pushing Border down. So there's 2 men in a catching position for the hook shot. 1 square and 1 fine. So the trap's set. Will Zahir play the hook shot from here on in? From this wicket, I think it would be best to forget it. A million runs out there. Prepare to keep your heads down. Well bowled. Good bouncer. Off stump. The end of a fiery over from Thompson. 3 for 258.
Javed Miandad waits now for the off-spinner Yardley.
Javed comes down and he plays that as a professional can when the men are up. He lofts that down to long on. The ball stops and just runs into the gutter, or has it run in, just fallen into the gutter. But overnight rain certainly slowing down the outfield at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
It certainly has, and that was a perfectly safe shot, because Javed Miandad worked things out to a nicety. He knew that Yardley had no man back, and that there was no danger in lofting that ball over the top of mid-on, and look how that ball stopped. I would have been proud of that if I had a number 8 iron in my hand.
Catch was the cry. They gave through. Wolf with the signal from umpire French. Yes, he made contact. The end of the over. 3 for 267.
Thompson bowls to Zahir Abbas.
Slow delivery and well played. Notice there that Zahir waited for that ball to come, and he just allowed it to run off the face of the bat and picks up 3 runs. End of the over, 3 for 273.
Here's Bruce Yardley now, and he's bowling to Zahir, and he's just about to have yet another piece of ill luck.
It could be it. He's got him. No, he hasn't. He dropped it. Whoa, look at Yardley. Catch it was the cry. Wood the fieldsman. As Ben Tyson pointed out, the new ball with a little bit of bounce. They can't believe it. It was slow. It was a fat pad.
Well, that's the second comparatively easy chance that the Australians have put down in that close to the wicket position on the leg side. We saw Border yesterday. Marvellous chance, a catch that went very, very slowly. And Zahir, they're playing with too much bottom hand, pushing too firmly, and oh dear.
And that's the penalty you pay. Drives beautifully through mid-off. 4 runs, and that was very unfortunate for Yardley. The previous over, Meandad got that pad that squirted through the point region. This time it went to the short leg. It was very slow, and Wood with tons of time to jump up with one hand, couldn't control the ball.
And there's no third man. That fielding position seems to have gone out of favour as the years have rolled on. One of the great sorrows of my life that I wasn't able to bat against bowlers who didn't use the third man. It's just money for jam. Javed Miandad waits now for the off-spinner Yardley. It's nicely placed. Man close in on the offside means there's no cover. In the fielder. And that's a great effort. A good chase. Hurled himself at the ball to stop it going for 4. Picked it up and it came back like a rocket into Marsh's gloves.
Very handy for a captain to have a fieldsman like Terry Alderman. He can field in slips, or he can make a good save like that in the outfield and then finish off that good work with a good throw right over the stumps.
Through the gap.
The Australian fielding standard dropping right away. Fumble out there by Bruce Laird. Should have only been 2 in it. Didn't pick it up cleanly and allowed Miandad and Zahir to scoot through for an extra run, and then finished off with a bad return. Australian fielding this morning. And very sloppy indeed.
Lilly to Javed Miandad. The bowling figures as they stand at the moment. Applause for Javed Miandad's 50. 7 balls, 124 minutes, and he's hardly had a moment of anxiety out there.
Great shot.
Great shot. Zahir brought up on low, slow pitches. Relished that. He's brought up his half-century to join Javed Miandad.
What a great shot to bring up your half-century. Dennis Lilly just straying in line and length, giving Zahir that fraction of room to get back and punish it away through the covers, and that's just what he did. Beautiful shot, great time. You've got to have timing on this wicket. And both players reaching their milestone, 50 apiece.
And that's a beautifully timed stroke. Graham Wood doing the chasing. End of Burley's over. The 300 comes up for 3 wickets. Lilly to Javed Miandad. Well fielded. Combination there. With Wellham eventually doing the picking up and throwing.
Good shot and a great save by Alan Border, going to his left. Cut it off and got a bad bounce too, which he did exceptionally well to cut it off, and Dirk Wellham was quick to come across.
Dennis Lilly now bowling to Zahir. No ball and a beautiful stroke by Zahir. Easy 3 there. Terry Alderman to Zahir Abbas. Great shot. Full toss, dispatched away by Zahir. Very heavy out there. I mentioned the previous over, 32 points of rain fell in CG. Didn't get onto the centre area because that was well covered. And Jeff Thompson, long chase and finished off with a good throw. Would have been a certain 4 yesterday. Good arm, Jeff Thompson. Right alongside the stumps. All the pads. And a long chase for Jeff Thompson. Let's have a look at this throw from Jeff Thompson. Quite as good. 3 again. Miandad. Dennis Lilly now bowling to Zahir.
And that one's right through the gap. Played away on the onside. Lilly just a little bit too straight. Hughes running away down to deep mid-wicket there, and Zahir collecting himself 3. So that's the end of Dennis Lilly's over. And the score 3-4, 3-2-1.
Yardley to Zahir Abbas.
It's well played. Just a little short and a little wide, and Zahir very quick to latch onto the cut shot there. And benefiting too from Miandad's ability to scamper between the wickets. So 3 runs there to Zahir.
Javed Miandad waits now for the off-spinner Yardley.
He's hit that over the top of the mid-wicket field, and that's going down towards the boundary. And that's 4 runs to Javed Miandad. A very aggressive shot there. High and over the top of mid-wicket for 4. 3-4, 3-2-9. Yardley again. These off spinners come over the wicket. He's gone captain on.
He's given him out. Oh, Yardley has struck again. Javed Miandad playing his heat shot, and he too hasn't played that much in this game. And all of a sudden deciding it was on and getting himself trapped LBW.
Well, that was on the centre stump, that. And Miandad asking for it, and he got the trouble. And good move by Chappell to bring Yardley on from this end. He's broken through it.
4 for 3-2-9. Alderman.
And it's Nicton who's gone straight through the gap between Marsh and Yardley for 4. Well, there was a let-off, and Marsh hangs his head as the ball skis through there between he and the first slip. Well, someone should have gone for it. And clearly, Yardley was standing just a little bit wide, and because that's where he thought the ball would go.
Well, right in between. All one can say at this stage is well-placed Zahir. Marsh holding his head, and it went right in between.
Yardley bowls to Wasim Raja.
Driven away, and that's a good shot. Nicely placed. Slightly over-pitched, and Raja reaching for it. Just a little bit risky. Had it turned from that little rough patch we were talking about, well, anything could have happened. So Raja now off the mark with a 3.
Raja really stretching there to drive, and if the ball turned or curved a little, he could have been in trouble there. But hit on the rise, and he gets 3.
One is down the leg side, and well played that by Zahir. That's a shot of a batsman in fine form. It's gone down to the fine leg boundary for 4, and that was beautifully placed. The sweep shot helping the ball down very fine.
Zahir played that beautifully. Kept the ball down, bat facing down, and played it very fine.
Lilly to Raja.
It's in the air and just lobs over Lilly's head. My goodness, that was very lucky. It's again Raja just misreading the pace of that particular delivery, and it just lobbed over Lilly's head.
Well,
Well, he must be questioning his luck here. When his luck is good, it is very, very good. But when it's bad, it's horrid.
Here's Thompson. And Zahir's taking straight. Before there, either off the pad or the bat. Umpire says it's off the bat.
Well, the Pakistan batsman certainly in a defensive groove, and they'll have to get out of it, or the Australian bowling might break through here.
Really bowling now to Wasim Raja. It's a half push round behind square leg and a full error. Dirk Wellham, man out there, just a little bit too eager to get in and field that. Have a throw back to Marsh.
Well, Raja did go for a shot there, but landed ahead of Wellham and then a bit of misfielding. So he's certainly uncomfortable against Lillee, and Lillee after lunch has bowled his best spell in this match.
Conditions down here at the MCG much better today. Yesterday it was quite windy. Today much less breeze. Well done. Fielded well today, Alan Border. Been some sloppy stuff from the Australians, but he's turned in some fine efforts.
Well, it's a good shot, but what a great piece of work in the field. Just got it as it was getting away. And a good return, but they're home for one. Yardley coming back into the attack from the members' end. Having given him a rest, and back he is. Most successful bowler for Australia. And his attack to Zahir is round the wicket.
Well bowled again, 5 wickets to Yardley, thoroughly deserved all of them, and that was a very good piece of bowling. Slower, tossed higher, deceived Zahir, beat him in the flight, and still drew him into the stroke.
Very good flight, and Zahir not quite to it, and perhaps Zahir paying the penalty of getting into a defensive groove and not playing his natural game.
5 for 363. Good shot by Wasim Raja. And good fielding, chasing and fielding by Jeff Thompson.
That's a beautiful return right from the deep by Thompson. Strong arm. And there it is, right over the top. And he's got him away again down to fine leg. And in this over, Raja looking happier.
5 for 370. Thompson to Imran Khan. He's half got that one away. Might get 3 for it if they can come back quickly enough. No hesitation, but yes, they will. 3 to Imran Khan. He has the strike, 5 for 375. Yardley to Wasim Raja. Shot before. Really launched himself at that one.
Raja's favourite shot, that square of the wicket, and he really thumped that one. He was waiting for that half volley for a long time. He's beginning now to look more assured, more confident.
Two good shots. Placement was good. Hit them with power.
Another lovely shot with the front foot. And beautifully placed through for 4. So Raja now beginning to open out.
Turn. That was a good delivery. Coming around the wicket into the rough, and Yardley throws his hands back. And that's not a sign that Greg Chappell would like to see.
Nice bit of turn there. Raja playing forward very tentatively. Good solid edge, but bouncing well in front of Greg Chappell. The very same delivery been bowled in Perth. Greg Chappell probably would have caught it waist high. Well, Dennis Lilly, that little bit extra time, and then that mix-up out there. Elbow from Dirk Wellham.
Alderman bowling now to Wasim Raja.
Oh, good delivery around the wicket. Change the line. Well bowled, says Wasim Raja.
Change in tactics from Terry Alderman, going around the wicket for the first time, and that ball seamed off the wicket. It's unfortunate for Alderman that did extract that extra bounce out of the wicket and hitting Raja just on the top of the pad. Clearly gone over the top of the stumps. That was an excellent ball from Terry Alderman, and one of the few balls that we've seen move off this pitch.
It's well placed. It's his strength. Square of the wicket on the offside.
Well, I don't know, Bill, how you can ever bowl to Wasim Raja without a third man. It's many of his runs down in that area, and it's been a tendency right through this whole innings for Australia not to have a third man. And Wasim Raja just opening the face. No one down there, and once it was through that gap, it was 4 runs.
Here's a ball from Terry Alderman, and perhaps that's indicative of what's going to happen on the last 3 days of this Test match.
Oh, that was well taken by Rodney Marsh. You heard Wasim give a roar. It didn't really bounce. That's typical of the Melbourne wicket.
That was an excellent take by Rodney Marsh. Always difficult to take when the ball bounces in front of you. Marsh always has a few problems at this MCG, but Wasim Raja playing right over the top of that one.
With 400 on the board, Greg Chappell obviously thought long and hard about the situation and threw the ball to Kim Hughes.
Yes, it is. So Chappell's decided that he must try and buy a wicket. He's laughing, but he's not really laughing at 5 for 400. Kim Hughes will enjoy it because he doesn't get a bowl very much. The out is roaring. Does that mean it's a bad selection? There's not another spinner in the side? I don't know. I think it's just one of those things when the side's 5 for 400, you'll try anything for a wicket.
Who knows, Imran Khan up at the other end may be the one that ends up laughing. And a few times in this Test series that the bunny has been thrown on with the ball. Imran looks very serious about the whole thing.
He thinks it's an Australian trick. Well, you wouldn't think that it was a Test match, would you? Australian vice captain recording himself. I think he's enjoying it. Second bowler tried by Greg Chappell. Maiden over. Well, there you go. 5 for 400.
Yardley to Wasim Raja.
That turn, that's a good shot. Hit with the spin.
And that's the problem, Bill, when you have such an attacking field, that you only have to be a fraction off line, fraction off length, and the batsman are able to get you away. That wasn't really a bad ball by Bruce Yardley, but Raja, with no one out there, was able to just nudge it away just through square and brought in 3 runs. He's moved on to 35, Imran on 14.
If the crowd was surprised by Kim Hughes bowling in a test match, well, how do you think they felt when Bruce Laird got his hands on the ball?
Not quite sure if this is the right thing in the middle of the test match, but Imran thinks that's okay. He gets it away for 4.
Improved to the sideboard. That one from Bruce Laird. Straying down leg side. Probably not even a net bowler, Bruce Laird. Suddenly finds himself bowling in a test match.
Laird to Wasim Raja.
Good shot. Finds a gap at cover. Into the over from Laird. 3 runs to Wasim Raja. 5 for 413.
Yardley to Wasim Raja.
Pitched up on leg stump, and Raja flicking it away on the leg side for 2. Going down the leg side in the air and just short of Wellham. That could so easily have carried to Wellham, but he managed to stop it on the half volley. That's the end of Yardley's over. 5 for 416.
Yardley to Imran Khan.
Imran down the wicket. He's hit that high and straight down the ground. That's a big hit. That could well be 6, and it's a big 6. A beautiful shot there, hit straight down the ground for 6.
And well caught in the members too by one of the MCC members. Went back about 6 or 7 rows. A huge hit by Imran Khan. Dancing down the wicket, picked it up, hit it right over, and a great catch by a member down there.
Greg Chappell bowling to Imran.
That one down the leg side, and nicely glanced there by Wasim Raja. Alan Border is chasing it down towards fine leg. Imran settling for 2.
Quite an intelligent piece of bowling then. Still, Greg Chappell may have been going for the leg side stumping. Rodney Marsh was across there and just a shade too close to the pads of Raja, and he's able to get a thick edge to it. Intelligent bowler, Greg Chappell. We've seen him break through a lot for Australia over the years. Need more than a breakthrough here at the moment.
Well, and that's a nick, and just not quite carrying there. Very well fielded by Yardley. Goodness, he has quick reactions.
What a great game Bruce Yardley's having.
Yardley to Imran Khan.
Down there. That's a good ball, and that beats the outside edge of Imran's bat. He was playing for the spin there a little bit, and remember that Yardley's round the wicket.
The angle taking it past the outside edge of Imran's bat. Look at it very wide of the crease. The angle taking it past, and Rodney Marsh quick to get back to those stumps.
And again hitting that ball down towards square leg this time. That one running away down towards the boundary down there for 4. So Imran Khan taking the opportunity to really cash in now. That's a 6 and a 4.
Some harsh treatment for Bruce Yardley now. Imran Khan trying to push the scoring rate along, and then another big hit, just bouncing once and over the fence. Good sweep shot.
And hits that one again high and way down towards deep mid-wicket. And that bounces once and into the fence. And with that beautiful shot from Imran, we welcome back our Sydney viewers after that Mosgiel win in the last race.
Imran Khan giving Greg Chappell something further to think about now. He's hitting them out into the outfield. No one out there.
Raja been very determined, but making 1 or 2 mistakes. Down his wicket he comes, and that's just a little bit lucky, going over the top of Laird's head and down towards the deep mid-on boundary. Well, that little bit of frustration brought on a pretty ordinary shot, and that brings up the Raja 50.
Another Pakistan batsman reaching 50. Raja with that lofted shot. Little luck in that one for him. Bruce Yardley threw the hands up, but it cleared mid-on, some 5 or 6 yards. Dancing down the wicket, Didn't hit it all as well as he would have liked.
Well, Wasson has now reached his 50.
I start thinking of another 50 after I get first 50, and I keep on building my innings right from the beginning, as if I've just come into bat, and I forget about the first 50 I've got.
That's in the air as well, and it's going down, and he's could be out. Well, he didn't forget about it. He's not bought his innings again, and he's hit it straight down Bruce Laird's throat. Well, he made a bad mistake, or a lousy shot out of the one before, and that one, he really did middle, but he middled it straight to Bruce Laird, so that wasn't the sort of concentration that Pakistan or Wasim Raja were talking about.
And another wicket for the persistency of Bruce Yardley. A good catch down there by Laird. Greg Chappell dropped him down there after that previous hit. That was a good catch by Bruce Laird. Had a lot behind it. Another wicket for Bruce Yardley. 6 wickets for him, 6 for 444.
Greg Chappell now bowling to Sarfraz, and you just can't keep Bruce Yardley out of the game.
Oh, and that one's gone to Yardley, and he's got him. He's given him out, and Yardley in it again. Caught by Bruce Yardley. Axlip out. First ball. Old by Chappell. So Yardley taking the catch. Chappell the bowler. What a great game he's having.
A leg cutter, I think, from Greg Chappell. Pitching and just seaming away. The angled bat. A good catch by Bruce Yardley, and what a great game he's having. Picked up 6 wickets involved in that catch. Fielded extremely well. And Sarfraz on his way back without scoring.
Seven for 445.
Yardley to Imran Khan.
Certainly going to accept the single border there, shying at the stumps, and this could be overthrows. Yes, it is. So Hughes moving quickly there to try and back up, but not quite getting there in time. Just getting a hand on the ball. So 2 more to Imran.
Yardley to Wasim Bari.
It's well bowled. Wasim Bari off the mark there, just pushing his bat out with that ball just outside off stump. He wasn't quite sure how much it was going to turn. And so that 2 there brings up the 450. It's the end of Yardley's over, 7 for 450. And that one nicked away fine. Just closing the face on that ball and allowing it to run down fine. Thompson moves around from backward square leg to field. And so Bari now on to 4.
It would be a good idea, Tony, for Pakistan to start pushing it along a little quicker now, so that they could perhaps have a go at the Australian Openers this evening. They'd be pretty tired after standing out there for over 11 hours, just on 11 hours now.
And that driven well by Bari. That one over pitched and outside off stump, and Bari wasting no time in dispatching that deep into the outfield. They've changed for 3, and looks as if they're going to complete 4. So a well-run 4 there by Bari. And that's the end of Yardley's over. 7 for 455. Just bowled him. That one has sneaked through his defences, trying to flick that on the next side, and Yardley strikes again. That's his 7th wicket, and some good bowling too.
And that beats his 6 wickets in Perth. Gives Yardley his best figures in Test cricket, and my, he's earned them. Beautiful piece of bowling, just coming through between bat and pad, throws the arms up in the air. He's still got the energy to do that. A magnificent effort from Bruce Yardley. Wasim Bari on his way back. Pakistan 8 for 457.
Thompson to Imran Khan.
Good shot, and that's misfielded by Laird. He's probably looking up at the clock instead of really having his mind on the job, and they pick up bonus 3 runs.
It was well hit by Imran through mid-wicket, and Laird obviously must be thinking of his batting, and there's the shot. Well, picked off his toes and clipped away firmly.
Good good delivery. They dive, they shout. No luck. The end of the over from Yardley. It's 8 for 463. There's a shout for LB. There's a shout for catch.
Double appeal there. He got it on his boot. And Wood coming in taking the catch. And Qasim picking his bat up to show that he hadn't touched that. Got onto his boot.
Yes, well, most batsmen do that if you don't. But it was at the pad first, when it ran up the face of the bat. They were quite confident, Border and Wood. He's forward, stepping on the pad. He probably played outside the line of that. But Wood crashed rather heavily there on his elbow. Chance for stumping. Just a fraction wide for Rodney Marsh. Umpire French shakes his head.
He came forward, beaten by the flight, but slightly wide, and he got his foot sliding back onto the crease. Once again, another look, beaten in the flight, and just before Marsh rips the bails off, his foot comes back onto the crease again.
Thompson to Imran Khan.
This time Imran takes a single out to beat cover. Chappell not giving Imran a chance to hit forward, but he goes on to 50, and that's well played, Imran Khan.
That's a fine 50 from him. Chanceless one, and some magnificent shots off Yardley in particular. One great 6, and then 2 through mid-wicket for 4 in that particular over. So it's been a fine innings from Imran, and he's taken Pakistan to a very strong position.
Offside, 2 on the onside. He comes in around the wicket. It's hit hard and high, and it's found the gap, and it's 4 runs. It's well placed by Imran. There's a man at backward square leg to sweep and one at mid-wicket. He's hit that square and timed it beautifully.
And he placed that very well. Square, and avoiding 2 fielders posted out there in the deep.
Now, another man going out, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 men on the fence on the onside protecting Bruce Yardley for Imran Khan. Ring of them there. Imran gets it away and he finds the gap again. Beautifully played. Yardley bows his head. It was a bit short, but Imran was quickly into position.
That's one of the few bad deliveries which Yardley has bowled, and perhaps after this long bowl he's entitled to do that. Short, and very quickly Imran onto it and taking full advantage, backing him away to square leg with 4.
With 1 ball remaining, the outfielders converge on Imran to try and restrict him from scoring. Last ball of the over. Probably go for the big hit. He doesn't. He looks for 1 and he gets it. Well played. In fact, he's not concerned with it's over. He's going for 2. He's going to come back for 3 and test out Dennis Lillee, who was very casual. And that's not good cricket. Dennis Lillee, well played, Imran. As Yardley storms off to fielding position, it's 8 for 482.
Dennis Lillee now bowling to the left-hander Iqbal Kazim.
Pretty brave shot from the tail ender against Dennis Lillee. Pulled in very strong fashion by Iqbal Kazim there in front of square. Just the type of delivery and the type of shot liable to raise the ire of a fast bowler against the tail ender.
Alderman bowls, and Kazim is taking strike. He's done it again, a pull shot and then a really good hook shot. It wasn't very far off 6. That's a massive stroke by Iqbal Kazim. Sydney viewers come back just as Iqbal Kazim pulls Terry Alderman behind square with the 3rd new ball. Fine stroked up from a tail ender. Dennis Lillee now bowling to the left-hander Iqbal Kazim. 500 up. The loss of 8 wickets, 7 of those to Yardley, and there is the declaration. Well, that baffles me even more. I'm slightly baffled by the batting on, but why declare it a figure? Well, that's a lot of runs, 500, and I really can't make out why the declaration came just at that point. It was reminiscent of other declarations I've seen that came at a figure. It looked as though the skipper, Javed Miandad, had determined that as soon as 500 was reached, the declaration would be made. And it left the Australians with just 20 minutes batting. And it could have been so much more difficult for Laird and Wood and the other players in the top part of the Australian order if they'd been given an hour to play. At any rate, Imran was the one who took the new ball. We'll pick up play in the 3rd over of this 20-minute period. Imran Khan is the bowler. He's coming to bowl to Bruce Laird. Just 1 run on the board, and with me in the commentary box is Frank Tyson. Short.
Oh, and the exasperation in Imran then. That definitely caught the edge, and on a normal quick wicket, there's not the slightest doubt in my mind that that would have carried the first slip. It was a classic ledge. Laird turned around by that ball that held its own, but on this slow Melbourne pitch, the ball failing to carry to Majid at first slip. Where do you field on a wicket like this in the slopes, I wonder? If you come closer, then the ball is travelling fairly swiftly when it arrives. It will arrive at catchable height. If you go back, it won't carry. Two to Bruce Laird.
Laird's got that away. Not quite off the middle, but he's satisfactory enough as far as he's concerned for 3 runs. End of Imran's over, and it's no wicket for 7. Wasim Raja to Laird.
One thing's fairly obvious. He won't perform very well if he pitches the ball as short as that.
Iqbal Kazim to Graham Wood. I should think in the Australian dressing room there were a few oohs and ahs at that, particularly the fellow who's got the pads on coming in next.
Well, that was the sort of stroke that made the introduction of Iqbal Kazim into the attack look logical. Last ball of the day coming up, and a man's being dropped out for Graham Wood, halfway to the fence, behind square leg. Located for that sweep that Wood played in the last over.
And he'll get runs from that. He may well take 3 if Laird is quick enough to come back. Yes, he will. 3 more to Wood, and the ball floods into the turf. Another bit of shine comes off it. And the Australians finish 15 for no wicket, with Laird on 8 and Wood 6. Well, it's going to be a long haul for the Australians. The way things went out there this afternoon, we might see plenty of spin bowling from Iqbal Kazim and from Wasim Raja. Wasim Raja didn't get anything offline, but he was hustling the ball through off this pitch. He bowls mostly top spinners, and we could have some quite interesting cricket tomorrow, but it's a long haul for Greg Chappell's side. Wood and Laird there, Greg Chappell himself and Kim Hughes and Alan Border, they all have a big task. The first job is to make sure they save the follow-on. So Pakistan very much on top, but my betting at this stage is that the game is going to finish in a draw and that Australia will win the series by 2-0. Imran Khan is coming into bowl to Bruce Laird, and in the commentary box, Bill Lurry and Frank Tyson.
Shout. Good look by umpire French. Laird getting square on, maybe going down the leg side, but a good shout.
Bruce Laird not looking at all comfortable this morning. Bill Lurry said he's looking to turn that ball on the leg side. That hit him squarely in front of, I'd say, middle and leg stump. And the only thing that could possibly have saved him was the fact it was going down the leg side.
Is Sarpraz to Wood.
That's well played. Into the vacant third man position. 4 runs.
And that's Graham Wood's favourite area. He loves scoring runs down through that gully position. Just squirts it, guides it, deflects it, call it what you will. He does it very well.
Imran Khan bowling now to Graham Wood.
Finds the edge, and that goes square down to fine leg. 2 to Graham Wood, and the Australian batsman not really middling the ball this morning. A little bit of movement off the seam for Imran. And it's that lack of bounce that's causing them to delay their shot and not quite get in the middle of the bat at this early stage.
Sarfraz bowls now to Bruce Laird.
Beats him, good delivery, and that's the one that straightens up. That's the danger ball, the one that doesn't come in with the arm or off the seam.
Too good. The ball, a leg cutter. Laird playing for the ball, coming on to him as the normal in-swinger. Was beaten by that. Not only beaten, but I would say beaten comprehensively. He missed it easily.
Beats him again, that run along the ground, and that's typical of Melbourne wicket over the last few years, and that's certainly not good for the Australian batsman. Look at that. Not even half stump high in the third day of a test match. Sarfraz continues from the members' end to Bruce Laird. It's a good shot.
Zahir coming around from deep fine leg to do the fielding. A long way to come. The most mobile of fieldsmen. Just being hidden down there in the outfield.
Imran Khan to Bruce Laird.
It's a good deflection by Laird. Very strong on the leg side. Picks up 2 runs. It's a fine return. Secunda. I'm sure that pace will have a more effect in this 3rd, 4th and 5th days. They'll get wickets, the pacemen, but one would have thought that he possibly would have used Imran and Sarfraz from one end and spin from the other. Looking for one, a hesitation. Wood's home. Surely not a run out on this wicket. They acknowledge that Wood hesitated. But they survived, and Bruce Laird had the call there. He called early and then he balked because Wood didn't respond to his first call.
Wood is sometimes a little hesitant in his running. These two should know how to run together because they do run for their state. Wood perhaps lacks a little confidence in running. He often says that he finds himself embarking on risky singles because he runs quicker than the man at the other end.
Oh, and that jumped up and hit him under the chin from the pad. It's a nasty one because Imran now aiming at the rough. And once you commit yourself forward, on that occasion, struck the pad from straight up under the chin.
Sarfraz bowls now to Bruce Laird. That was a bit of a confident stroke. Looked to me as they picked it up from around about Midland leg, and it was Sarfraz's leg cutter.
A shot that could get you into trouble on this wicket if you played it too often. Fortunately enough then for Bruce Laird that the bounce maintained its normal level.
It wasn't quite accurate there. That was Midland off, not Midland leg. Here's Sarfraz to Wood. Wood looks for 2. Does it comfortably enough. There's a nice crisp stroke away through extra cover. Needs to be an innings of discipline from the Australians today. Need to keep their head down. Sikanda bowling to Graham Wood. Easy 3 there to Graham Wood.
That certainly would have been 4 the 2 previous days, but with the rain we had here in Melbourne last night, slowed that outfield down.
He's took that away off middle stump as well. Another easy 3. And up comes the 50, and that's a good start for the Australians. 51 for no wicket, 26 to Laird, 24 to Wood. I just have a little feeling my bones keep that Bruce Laird's taken quite a risk picking those balls off middle stump and occasionally off middle and off and punching them away on the onside. There's Sarpraz to Wood. I suppose you have to say that was a thickish edge, but Wood kept it down very nicely and played it away between the fielders.
As we've seen so often during this test match, no third man in play down there on the boundary, and anything that gets through those slips, there is a certain boundary. The Australians yesterday went practically the whole game without having a third man. Now Pakistan doing the same thing. A little drier down that outer end. That ball which Graham Wood just went on, and very quickly down to the boundary.
Shot. Got that well enough, but the Stowe outfield won't give it full value. Roshan Khan, the fielder. End of the over from Sarpraz, 60 on the board. Wasim Raja bowling now to Graham Wood.
Shot. It's the back foot. Big gap there. Just a couple. Throw from Madassa.
Iqbal Kazim to Wood.
The sweep shot there, and that couldn't have been far away. His front foot straight down the line, and umpire Baylash gave that considerable thought before knocking it back.
We're going for the sweep shot, and perhaps that was missing the off stump.
Yes, that looked a good decision from umpire Baylash. He gave it plenty of thought, and I suspect that it was just missing the off stump.
Bruce Laird facing Iqbal Kazim.
That's hit straight back down the ground, and a bad bounce there for Quasim. The ball going away down to the middle boundary. Sarpraz not able to cut it off, so 4 runs, a good solid blow that by Laird, and that's his first boundary.
That was beautifully struck. And straight past the bowler on the offside and beating him round there. That's good placement and firmly hit. And on the slow outfield due to the overnight rain, travelled quickly to the boundary.
That one cut. And once again, Wood responding very quickly, and so the batsman passed through for a single, no wicket for 74.
Here's Iqbal Kazim now bowling to Bruce Laird, and Laird plays right across the line, and just once too often.
I'm sure there's a big appeal, and that must go on. Yes, he's out. LBW. They're going for the pull shot there, which on a pitch like this one is a bad mistake. And that one keeping just a little bit low, missing the bat, and struck right in front of the wickets. And so Quasim makes the breakthrough.
They are going for the pull, that ball keeping a little low, and he hit over the top of it and out plumb LBW. So finally the breakthrough has come. And it's 75 for 1.
Travel has a magnificent record. Reached 33, 70 test matches. Highest score of 247 and a batting average of 55. Good ball by Quasim. Chappell just a little bit tentative on the front foot there. 19 centuries and 28 half centuries. 5,948 runs. What a record. Oh, that's a good ball, my goodness. Chappell beaten there by flight. It was good bowling by Quasim.
That was a beautiful delivery. Beaten through the air, and it turned also, but he had his foot in the crease, and Bari not taking the ball well.
Suspected he was in trouble. And Bari, what's the back foot? The back foot just outside, and Bari fumbling the ball there. Well, that was a clear opportunity for a stumping, and Greg Chappell would have been out for naught had Bari taken that ball and lifted the bails. That's a good over from Quasim, and Chappell just a little lucky to get away with that. 1 for 75. Slightly quicker ball. Well played, that by Wood. Just backing away a little bit to give himself a little bit more room and cutting it away down towards third man. It's Wood's first run for 26 minutes. He's been very quiet.
Good-looking shot from Wood. Good placement. Beating the fielder there.
Wasim Raja bowling now to Graham Wood.
And that's an interesting shot from outside off stump. A half full sweep shot. Just a hint of desperation. But safely placed. It came off the middle of the bat, and Wood gets himself 3.
Well, that ball was pulled away from outside the off stump and through mid-wicket. Perhaps trying to break the shackles and trying to hit Qasim out of his length. But Qasim at the moment bothering both the players.
Greg Chappell faces Iqbal Kazim.
That's a beautiful shot. Nicely placed, and so Chappell off the mark now, and the crowd giving him a bit of a cheer. Imran after it. Chappell will get 2. And that will be a little relief for him. It's the end of Quasim's over. 1 for 83. A little bit of rough out there, and that might present a bit of a problem. That's a short ball and in the air, but no edge on it. And that's a good job. That one didn't keep just a little low, because it would have been out.
There a similar shot to what Laird tried, and that ball, luckily for Wood, didn't keep low. Otherwise, he would have been in very serious trouble.
And drive just a little loose, and Raja getting a little excited. I think he thought he'd sneak through.
And that one nearly got through the gap, but the pad was there to prevent it from going through.
And that's hit away on the leg side again, and hit away pretty well too. And one of the reasons I think why Wood every now and again plays that shot is he's feeling the pressure of the silly point, who's fielding very, very close. Javed Miandad in on the offside there in the white hat.
Iqbal Kazim to Wood.
That one little short and well played. And that's the one Wood's waiting for. Backing away and cracking it out on the offside. The ball rolling down towards the boundary, but cut off just yards short of it by Mosey. And so Wood on to 49 now, just 1 short of his half century. A good effort by him.
It's a good shot by Wood. And he backed away enough there to give him the room to play that shot. Very good placing.
Well, there was some heavy rain at lunchtime, and play was delayed for 72 minutes. When the players eventually got back on the field, we pick it up now with Wasim Raja coming in to bowl to Greg Chappell. The Australian total is 1 for 92.
Chappell drives and misses, and that was a very risky shot.
A case of over-intelligence. Chappell playing for the leg spin. And I'm afraid you don't do that against Raja, because doesn't spin that leg spinner very much, and Chappell left the gap between bat and pad.
Once again, just padded away, and so the end of a pretty good over there from Wasim Raja, 1 for 92. A sweater for Safraz. Just a little chilly out there after that little shower. And Wasim Raja going to continue with his leg breaks, or should we call them top spinners and googlies, and bowling to Chappell, who he had in a little trouble last over. Chappell plays that very well. That was a short ball, and Chappell blasts that off the back foot down the ground, and that should be 4. A good shot by Chappell. And the crowd really enjoying that 4. There haven't been many of them.
That must have been hit with a lot of power, because the outfield now is very slow. But it was timed to perfection. Ball straying on the short side. Really, Chappell, I think they're giving it a lot of bottom hand.
Iqbal Kazim to Wood.
Wood allowing that to go through the keeper. So Wood on 49, just 1 short of the half century. Chappell 7. And the Australians 1 for 96, just 4 short of 100. Remember, 301 is their first hurdle. If they get 301, they won't have to follow on. Wood drives. 2 men out there saving the single, so no run, and Wood in no hurry.
I wonder whether you'll be tempted, Tony, to ask Kazim to bowl over the wicket. He bowled into the rough outside the left-hander's off stump. Kazim's still coming around the wicket.
We mentioned that rough a little early on. The only problem with that is that on 2 occasions so far in this spell, Quasim has beaten the outside edge of Wood's bat with the ball that angled across him. And so I suppose that's why he's staying round the wicket. Once again, you could see there the little bit of drift across the left-hander. And he has, as I said, played on 1 or 2 occasions at balls outside that off stump, and played and missed, in fact. And that's it. He's played it around on the leg side to a straightish ball, and so Graham Wood has scored 50. And he'd be very satisfied with that. He's 50 in 128 balls. And scored in 152 minutes. He's also involved in an opening partnership of 75 with Laird.
Iqbal Kazim to Wood.
And there's a big appeal there for LBW. That must be very close. Well, they will persist with the sweep shot, and it's caused a few problems in this match, and could have been another one.
Look at the pad there. It's right in front of middle stump. You cannot see a single stump there. And umpire Baylai shaking his head. He must have had second thoughts about that, and probably said, well, Wood's too far down the wicket for me to guess.
I think that's exactly what he said, because it must have been very close. That's the end of the over. 1 for 98.
Greg Chappell faces Iqbal Kazim.
As close as that. That's well taken by Wasim Bori down the leg side. That's better. Remember that he missed a clear chance of stumping Chappell early on the day.
Before Chappell had even scored. And Chappell came perilously close there to overbalancing yet again. And, let's have a look at that attempted sweep by Chappell. The weight going forward, and Chappell just stopping that back foot from swiveling around.
Oh, and that's off the pad, and that caught very well by Javed Miandad. My goodness, that was unbelievable. Clearly it didn't hit the bat, but what reactions.
And that's exactly what I think Javed Miandad is after, because there you see the fingers coming underneath it. And there you see the bat of Chappell swinging that ball away to the deep square leg fence. The 100 up, the end of the over, 1 for 100. Raja, again from the southern end, 1 for 102.
That's a full toss, and it's the one that can so easily do a little bit of damage to the silly point. Chappell getting 2 there and smashed away through extra cover. Not timed quite as nicely as he'd like to have done. He normally dispatches those full tosses for 4.
And let's remember, too, that this outfield must now be at least, I should say, 30 runs slower than it was yesterday after the overnight rain.
Chappell very cautious out there at the moment. Anything that's pitched just short of a length, he's thrusting the front pad at. Doing his best to smother the spin and certainly not taking any risks with the bounce. One a bit short and time smashed away off the back foot in this field. Quasim out there, misfielding what was a relatively straightforward shot, played straight along the ground all the way and somehow just slipped through Quasim. So 2 to Chappell. Just 1 to go. This has been a good over from Roger. He's pitched everything relatively well up, and he did get that one to spin away pretty sharply. That's wide, and Chappell drives, and that's a good shot. That one going away down to the boundary. I don't think it'll get there. It's pretty slow out there after the rain. And Mosen slipping as he gathers that ball. So 3 to Chappell. The end of Roger's over, 1 for 109.
Greg Chappell faces Iqbal Kazim.
That's a full toss, a bad ball. And played away square of the wicket. Once again, Sakanda coming around to cut that one off. The ball only going 2/3 of the way to the fence. 2 more to Chappell. The end of the over. 1 for 111.
Iqbal Kazim to Wood.
That's well played. Just turned around very fine on the leg side. And the ball pitched around to that leg stump and nicely played. Chappell coming back for 3 and making it. So a delicate little shot there by Graham Wood. No one fielding in the leg slip position, so perfectly safe.
Kazim for 1 strain down the leg side. And Wood very quick to deflect that ball. Not too much power behind the stroke. Just wonder whether Kazim would be far better advised to go over the wicket and at least try for short leg catch from Wood. But at the moment, it's not Wood on strike, it's Greg Chappell.
Once again, bobbing in the air to job at the end there. My goodness, it is happening a lot, Frank, without finding the inside edge.
Well, on the law of percentages, it's got to happen, surely.
That's well played. That one was short, and Chappell right back and waited for it, and he was very watchful because obviously there's always a chance it might keep just a little low. He kept his eye right on the ball and played it away on the leg side. Wasim Roger. Chappell defending again. This is Wasim's 21st over. No wicket for 34. The other spinner, Quasim, has bowled 19 overs and taken 1 for 29. He's taken the only wicket to fall, that of Laird, out to LBW for 35. Chappell sweeps and that's in the air, that's out, he's gone, yes, at top edge. I thought there was a double noise there. Chappell going for the sweep shot, so once again an Australian hauling to the sweep. The ball bobbing up in the air, caught there by Wasim Bari behind the stumps.
Greg Chappell thoroughly annoyed with himself. Going for the sweep outside the leg stump, feeling that it was perhaps a top spinner, not a leg spinner. It was a leg spinner, the top edge coming, and the ball just lobbing gently to Wasim Bari as the easiest of chances. And Chappell annoyed with himself because he's played that shot right on the tee break. And that's the worst time for a wicket to fall as far as Australia is concerned.
And so the score out there now, 2 for 118 as the players disappear back into the pavilion.
Wasim Raja to Border.
That's more like Alan Border. He drives well through mid-on and well fielded by Sakanda. Chance for running out. Be very close. The throw was slow. A dicey second run.
And that throw was slow because Sarfraz threw the ball into the turf. Had he thrown it on the full, then I think that photo finish might have been very much closer. Sarfraz a little bit slow coming across, throwing the ball, pitching into the turf, slowing up. And even then, it must have been very close had Raja been a little bit quicker getting the ball to the wicket.
Will's man.
Good chance of a run out. The throw was poor and Raja very lax in his attempt to take the bails off.
Iqbal Kazim now to Graham Wood. Once again, the Pakistanis confuse themselves in the field.
And that's not a good shot. It's in the air. Oh, it's going to be muck up. And Imran, they still look at each other. Imran, all the time in the world. And Sarfraz, Imran stopped. And what a let-off and what a disappointment for Kazim.
Listen to the crowd. I said that Wood had concentrated. He had until that juncture. He dropped his head in shame. But if Wood dropped his head in shame, what is Imran doing at the moment? He must be hanging his head in absolute mortification because it was a case of mid-on, leaving it to mid-off.
That was certainly Sarfraz's catch, but Imran moved late and lunged, took his eyes off the ball. And that was a tragedy for the Pakistan side. Desperation hit down the ground by Wood. Concentration broke. And Border gets the full tosses and puts it away. What a difference it makes.
Well, in the space of two deliveries, we've seen the concentration of three people break. First of all, that of Graham Wood, who hit it into the air. Then of Imran, who couldn't get to the catch, and possibly that of Sarfraz, whose catch it should have been. And now we've seen Kazim lose concentration because he bowled that absolutely succulent full toss for Border to dispatch.
Well, that's the end of the eventful over. 2 for 127.
Iqbal Kazim bowls now to Alan Border. And here's an error from Graham Wood that will have given him a sleepless night.
Well, it's a chance for run out. The bowler's end, the throws there, and once again, Graham Wood involved in a run out. Dear, oh dear.
An elementary mistake. Alan Border departs. Run out by half the length of the pitch after this episode. Pushed away on the offside, off the pad, barely thinking of a run. Wood coming through like an express train. Border saying no. And Border being the slow goods train that fails to make the sidings.
Oh, that was a tragedy. Border could fire a spin. He was on the back foot as he played the ball to backward point. It was Wood's call, but certainly was never one on as far as Alan Border was concerned.
Border playing the ball off his pad, hesitates, says go back. Wood comes through. He was backing up. He's safe. The Border running to the danger end is well out. And look at Wood. He doesn't even look round now at Alan Border. He just throws his head to one side, turns around, and the only thing he can see is the back of Border departing for the pavilion.
And it's 3 for 127.
Wasim Raja to Kim Hughes.
Ooh, and that found the edge. He's off the mark. Good delivery. Wasim Raja from the outer end. He tries to sweep. Got to be close. Ooh, that's a dangerous shot on this wicket when it's keeping low. A big shout from Raja.
Oh dear, Hughes presuming the ball will turn.
It's a good shot. Took it onto the back foot. Action short and split it away for 3. Very good player, square of the wicket. A sign of aggression from the Australian vice captain, trying to break up that close field. And that's good tactics.
Good and risky. And obviously it's a gambler's throw.
Iqbal Kazim comes in now to bowl to Hughes.
Breaks the shackles again as he pitches short. again, stopping. You can see that in the corner of your screen. He balked.
Wasim Raja to Kim Hughes.
Drives well. Fine shot.
And the ball is tossed up. Hughes is not afraid to advance.
Doesn't he pick it up quickly? That was a glorious shot under the conditions. He was down quickly and hammered it through mid-off.
Classic example of advanced Australia fair.
Footwork tremendous. Skips down, head well down over the ball. Fine example of the off drive to the leg spinner. And then he cuts the shorter delivery, which was predictable. But that's the risky shot. It does keep low and get inside edge. Come back onto the stumps.
Just on that spot there. That's the danger spot there for Graham Wood. Won't affect Kim Hughes. Over there's no rough stuff because we haven't had anyone following through. None of the quick bowlers have been charging through and scuffing it up. Back there is the danger point. Kim Hughes to take strike. Well bowled. Got it away, but it was a good piece of bowling that. Beat him in the flight. 3 to Hughes. End of the over, 3 for 156. Wasim Raja now bowls to the left-hander Graham Wood. Well, that's the way to do it. Pitch it in the rough stuff, and the batsman doesn't have any real idea of which way it's going to turn or bounce. 3 for 156. That was good bowling and good thinking.
That caught the outside edge and pitched in the rough, and Qasim, who's been so unlucky today, a stumping chance missed off him, and then that catch of Wood. This time let's go the sharp chance, and it was on his left as well, so he's left-hander. And Raja, and there's Qasim, and there's Raja looking very, very sad indeed. Well, Pakistan's fielding today certainly hasn't been up to the mark. 3 possible chances have not been taken.
Shot by Kim Hughes. Four-all run there. Needs to be a relay throw from that very, very big boundary here at the MCG. A disaster. That was Kim Hughes' call, and Graham Wood, I think, wasn't quite sure if he wanted to go or not. In fact, he was looking where the ball went instead of looking at Hughes. Goodness me. Imran Khan to Graham Wood. For 171. Iqbal Kazim is now starting his 31st over. It's 1 for 57. He's bowled unchanged other than the breaks for the close of play and lunch.
Hughes has quietened down a little in the last few overs.
And he's gone. Didn't quite get over it. Iqbal deserved that wicket. just coming down to drive. The ball's a little straighter than some of the other Hughes has driven. And he's out now for 34. Couldn't bowl Iqbal Kazim. Just enough turn there. The catch taken quite safely. The bowler going down to it. And it's 4 for 173.
That was interesting. Trying to flick something away. Still on 4. And that one down through slip. And going down towards the third man boundary there, and that's 4-2. So Wellham now 2 4s and on to 8.
Not as quite a convincing shot as the one that he played to get off the mark. Finding the outside edge of the bat and then finding the gap through that slip area. But it was a good delivery from Imran Khan. He's really steaming in here now in this little spell of bowling before Stumps comes. Looking to get on the front foot, then going back, angling the bat. Extra movement off the wicket down that edge.
Imran again to Wellham. Wellham's already hit 2 4s. For his 8, and the single there, that gets him 9. Kazim again. Wellham sweeping again. What a good shot. Right away, square of the wicket, and that went like a tracer bullet.
And a great shot to play it. 12 minutes to 6. The man out at square leg did not have to move one solitary yard. Neither did Robin Baylash, or Dick French rather, there. Square leg.
So one more over to be bowled. Remember that the umpires have to be in position before the clock is in fact on 6 o'clock, and clearly it's only just moving into position now, so we have to bowl one more over. And straight away, we want the first ball that takes a single, and that gives Wellham the strike.
And Wood very adept at getting singles this innings. And he's played right into the Pakistan hands here. So that's just what they wanted. They wanted Wood away from the strike so as they can put the pressure right on young Wellham in this last over. 5 balls to come. The clock already past 6 o'clock. Fieldsman crowding in right around that bat. Shafik Miandad very close to being on that route.
I really do feel slacky on this occasion, certainly with the last ball, that might have been a little fitting that Wood should have perhaps looked to take the over on his own. Well, I appreciate it's important to pick the singles up. He'll be a little bit sick if Wellham gets out this over. He's got 4 balls to face. One lobbed up in the air when I'm driving down the ground.
There's Tony Greig, and with him, Frank Tyson.
Again, the sweep shot by Wood, and well played. All the way along the ground there now. If he plays that shot well on perhaps 2 more occasions, I suspect Kazim will go back to round the wicket.
And significantly, that still only brought him a single. That's his 11th single in succession. Well played, well controlled, and taken from the right position. But is the risk worth it?
Wellham down the wicket and a good shot. Very well played, nice and straight. He made it into a half volley too and timed it pretty well. The ball rolling out down towards the boundary for 4. So a beautiful shot that by Dirk Wellham. Waiting for the first over-pitch ball. And in fact advancing and cashing in.
Good shot this because the power came at the end. Notice the whip in the right hand of Dirk Wellham there. He really did put a lot of forearm into that. It wasn't a flowing shot. It was a shot that resulted from Wellham making sure So he got to the pitch of the ball, and at the last moment, whipping it away on the onside and placing it right between mid-on and mid-off.
Iqbal Kazim to Wellham.
You can be given out, even though the ball might not have been hitting you in line with wicket, and that one bobbing out on the offside. Miandad still very close there.
How many times have we seen this in this game? The use of the pad as the first line of defence.
And that's swept away, and is it out? It's dropped. The question is, did he get a little edge on it? And judging by the reaction from the Pakistan players, I would have thought he might have done, and it's that problem that Frank Tyson was talking about,
where the ball holds up out of the rough on the sweep and produces a top edge. Wellham, 2 good sweeps to his name, a top edge this time. Majid had slipped coming across, and he did get his hands underneath it. But his hands were on the ground, and it almost seemed as if the ball bounced into his hands. Because his hands were on the ground on a firm basis, then the ball bounced out of them.
Imran Khan to Graham Wood.
There. There's no problems from over the wicket, and that's beautifully played. And that breaks Wood's spell of 12 successive singles. 3 to him there. In fact, 4 all run.
Majid Khan to Wood.
Wood straight away driving and calling for a single. And this could be overthrows. Yes, way down there towards third man, and there's no one down there. Zahir coming around. He'll cut it off before it goes to the fence, so they won't get 5. Instead, they'll get 3.
Well, a bit of an air of relaxation now creeping into the Pakistan out cricket. The reasoning behind Majid's introduction to the fact possibly that he is an off-spinner who could turn the ball away from the left-handed Wood. He's bowling to a fairly deep-set offside field for the right-hander Wellham. 3 men in the covers and a slip.
Obviously, as he gets himself nice and loosened up, he'll probably start tossing it up and turning it just a little bit more as a result. Left down the leg side. Now, it'll be interesting to see whether he got a nick on that. The ball racing away quite quickly to the boundary, which would suggest that he got some bat. Yes, 4 signals. So a little inside edge there off the bat of Dirk Wellham for 4.
Majid Khan to Wood. Good shot, nice deflection. Wood goes on now to 96, 26 to Wellham. Iqbal Kazim bowls to Graham Wood. It's well played by Wood. Pick up 2 more to go to 98, but he waited for that ball. Was almost beaten by Iqbal Kazim. With Australia 4 for 232, Javed Miandad gave Sarfraz the new ball, and that change in tactics was immediately successful. He's gone. Quite a straightforward dismissal that. Just pushed away to square leg. Sarfraz breaks through, and Madassa taking the catch.
And a good sharp catch by Madassa. Bit of bounce in that, and Dirk Wellham, in fact, keeping low on second look at it, but that was a sharp catch by Madassa. Pure reflex by him, and that's the breakthrough that they wanted, and certainly paying dividends by taking that second new ball. So Dirk Wellham on his way back to the pavilion for 26, and Australia 5 for 232.
Imran Khan to Graham Wood. Looks for 2, will get it. That's it, a good 100 to Graham Wood. Good innings that from the left-hander. He's responsible for Alan Border's run out. He needed to make a big 100, and that's exactly what he's done. 301 balls faced in 370 minutes. 100 out of 234.
In a test match to make 100 for Australia is the greatest thrill of all time. What I've got to try and do now is go on with the game. Recently, when I've made 100 in a test, I haven't got beyond 126. That's what I'm aiming to do.
In the 6th test century for Graham Wood. Had a couple of let-offs. Graham Wood heads that list now. Slowest century makers for Australia.
Sarfraz to Graham Wood, and the new ball claims a second victim. He's gone. What a good catch that was. That's 2 good catches to take the 2 wickets to fall this morning. First Wellham, and now Merson Khan catches Wood at cover. Going away to his right. That was a brilliant effort.
Not a bad shot either, but not quite to the pitch of the ball. And a beautiful catch in the covers by Mohsin Khan. It was going to his right. The movement was an outswinger to Graham Wood. He played forward, hit it well, was looking for runs, and a good catch. And the taking of his second new ball certainly bringing its advantages to Pakistan now. Got 2 quick wickets, and Australia 6 for 235.
Sarfraz bowling to Yardley. So he's off the mark, Bruce Yardley, with a 2. 6 for 237. End of that over from Sarfraz with Wood's wicket for 100. And Sarfraz now has crept up that wicket-taking list. Once again, he's up to 130 with Imran Khan and Fazal level.
6 for 237. Marsh 1. Yardley into the crease. He's on 2. So Sarfraz taking 2 wickets this morning. Runs behind point. 2 to Yardley. Very good season for Bruce Yardley. 19 test matches, highest score of 74 against West Indies, 350, so he's no slouch with the bat. Average just below 22. Australia looking for a bit of a score from him here today. Shot straight down the ground. He would have enough legs to make it. Yes, 4 runs. Bruce Yardley. So 6 runs. 2 balls for the off-spinner. Sarfraz just over pitching. Yardley quick to get onto that front foot. Right in the middle of the bat. Just had enough legs.
Iqbal Kazim to Marsh.
Marsh drives, good shot, beautiful shot. Down the wicket he comes. That's driven back down the ground through the mid-on area for 4. And, those strong arms of his coming to play there. The moment he hit that, that was 4.
That was beautifully struck from the onside. Earlier, thunderous on drive for 4. And he really gave that all he had. And with those arms, he has plenty.
Sarfraz to Rodney Marsh.
It's played well by Marsh. He's very good on that leg stump, and I think that is reflected by that shot. The ball pitching just outside leg and flicked away for 3. And so Sarfraz continues with his seamers. A big appeal there for LBW. Sarfraz almost down on his knees. I think he was just outside the line.
Yardley moving forward, that ball kept low. And Yardley, I think,
That's well bowled and bobbing in the air on the offside.
Off the boot, the pad, Qasim Kelly latching onto it.
Oh, and that one was off the bat and just went past Javed Miandad's right hand. It was thrust out, but wasn't quick enough.
So that one got the bat, and Miandad clutching at it unsuccessfully, and it's past him.
Oh, and that one really does keep low. And it was well taken in the end by Wasim Bari.
Yardley suddenly going on to the back foot, getting that he's got to move forward on this wicket, and the ball keeping low and spinning away, luckily for him.
It's in the air and straight to Javed Miandad. A little appeal there from Miandad and Quasim Adgari, but that one obviously just came off the pad. Well, Quasim Raja causing the problems for the batsman we thought he would. Oh, my goodness, that went right through his legs. That must have been very, very close to off stump, right through his legs.
That's an amazing delivery. Watch it. Went through his legs, and to Bari, who didn't take it well, and another look there. This is an amazing delivery, and Yardley stunned, Bari stunned, and Majid amazed, and Raja not amused.
And another man now being brought into the circle there, so 5 of them now have been around Yardley. This will be the last ball before lunch. And once again, Yardley padding it away on the offside. That was a maiden over. At lunch, Australia 6 for 269. They're still 32 runs short of that follow-on figure of 301.
Wasim Raja bowls now to Rodney Marsh. Runs. There's a shout of catch it there.
Pretty obvious comment to make, because Marsh certainly hit it. Didn't hit it all that well. And again, the sweep almost bringing the downfall of the batsman. Oh dear, we've seen some rather ambitious sweeps. Ball outside the leg stump and possibly there to be swept. The bounce making it difficult.
That's a really good stroke. It's the best stroke Rodney Marsh has played today. He takes him on to 30. And it's now 6 for 282. Iqbal Kazim to Bruce Yardley. There's a good shot from Yardley. Beautiful straight drive for 4. And let's come back to the thing we were talking about earlier, Frank. I've got this feeling that the Pakistan skipper might have been greatly influenced by what happened when his team batted. And is not using Imran Khan, not using Sarfraz and Sikandar in the way he should. This pitch, traditionally, as it goes on, has been more awkward for batsmen facing the medium pacers than spinners.
Too, I'd agree with you. I think, too, that there's been a lack of experimentation in the handling of Javed Miandad's bowling. He hasn't shown much imagination at all. For instance, we've seen Iqbal Kazim operate almost exclusively from this northern end.
Yardley faces Iqbal Kazim now, and Yardley obviously didn't find this shot in any batting manual. Bowl him. One that comes back with the arm. And Yardley paying the penalty there for the stroke that should never be played on a pitch like this. Cut, the ball coming in from outside off stump.
Yardley had tried this several times against Wasim Raja and been lucky to get away with it because the ball was far too close to his off stump. That time the delivery was even closer to the off stump. Yardley attempting the over-ambitious cut, paid the penalty. He's out for a very valiant 20, and Australia has slumped to 7 for 286.
Imran Khan now to Rodney Marsh, and I reckon Imran will remember this ball for many a long day. And Marsh is out, caught it short leg, inside edge, onto the pad. And it seemed to me that Imran and the others went up for LBW.
Well, let's look at Madassa's reaction here. There was an inside edge. You saw the deflection. Madassa had absolutely no idea. He picked that ball up extremely well, and what a good short leg fieldsman he is.
And it has made Imran Khan the leading wicket-taker in the history of Test matches for Pakistan. At one wicket, Rodney Marsh has done two things. It has made it very difficult for Australia now to save the follow-on. There's still 13 runs in arrears of that figure. And now it has also put Imran Khan at the top of that list. 140 wickets for Pakistan in 36 Test matches. He's now one ahead of Fazal Mahmood, 10 ahead of Sarfraz Nawaz, and 15 ahead of Intikhab Alam.
Imran certainly, I think, was appealing for LBW, but Madassa, after completing the catch, looked around in complete mystification. It was a very good catch. Sikandar, was that off the bat or off the head? Let's watch the umpire. Off the head. Leg bicycle. Umpire French just tapping the leg. So Thompson still to get off the mark. And that delivery really coming off the very hip bone.
James Lilly now to face Imran Khan. 289. And 12 needed.
Around a dozen to avoid the follow-on. 2 wickets in hand. And Lilly onto the front foot every time. Delivery from Imran Khan was short of a length. Lilly was forward. Pakistan being in a good position, their field is still fairly defensive, except for the man at forward short leg with one slip and one gully.
That's close. Yes, indeed. Yes, that's a good ball. That's that one that darts back in from outside the off stump. And it looks like the follow-on now. 8 for 289. That really did come back very, very sharply.
And hit Lilly on the back foot, I think. Wide of the off stump. And it was the back knee joint that the ball made contact with. Lilly made a valiant effort to get forward, but he didn't get his foot across towards the offside. Kassim 3 for 100 against his name. On to Thompson.
Only the one there. Now, what will Alderman's instructions be? Those men coming in from, or the deep mid-off is coming in. Imran Khan has gone in to a more ordinary mid-off, and he's also signalled Zahir at mid-on to come in. And Alderman's away with a single. So does Thompson look for the single off the last ball now? It's the one coming up. And he's asking the umpire how many balls to go. Not sure if he got an answer. Well played. And he's going to pick up 2. That's the end of the over. 9 for 292. Just the 1 wicket to fall. Terry Alderman has the pleasure, or otherwise, of facing an over from Imran Khan. Here's Tony Greig to tell you about it.
Thank you, Richie. And Imran Khan, quite talkative out there. He's obviously very excited. He's got 2 wickets. He's been soldiering away for a long time for a wicket. 24 overs, 2 for 41. And there's a big appeal. That must be very close. He's given him. He's gone. And so I should suggest that the Pakistanis will enforce the follow-on. So Imran strikes again. 3 for 41. Perfect delivery from Imran Khan, and just what we would have expected him to have bowled to a tail-ender. Pitched beautifully. Alderman playing back, playing from the crease. Didn't come forward. He hasn't been watching the other players. You can see that back foot go back. The ball coming in. That was as plumb as you'd ever see. Very confident appeal. 8 runs to go to avoid that follow-on. That last wicket denying Australia that. So Imran Khan capturing the last 3 wickets. Wicketless for yesterday. Didn't break through this morning, and then capturing the final 3 wickets.
Well, that was a great performance by the Pakistan bowlers, particularly Imran Khan, who picked up that 3 for 0 in 10 deliveries there, and at the same time, in picking up Rodney Marsh's wicket, became the greatest ever wicket-taker in Tests for Pakistan. Well, a big task faced the Australians there. They had to start off at 207 runs in arrears, and they had a long, long time to go. Over 8 hours and 20 overs still to be played in the remainder of the match. And we pick it up now in the 4th over. Just 1 run on the board, and Graham Wood has made that. He's facing Sarfraz in the commentary box, Tony Greig and Keith Stackpole, and this was just the start the Australians didn't want it.
There's a big appeal there for caught behind, and he's out, caught down the leg side. The umpire waiting there because he confirmed with the other umpire that the ball had carried, and Wood looking at the other batsman, asking the question whether he thought it carried. He didn't seem to think that that ball carried through to Wasim Bari down the leg side, but the umpires had a close look at it and conferred and then gave it. It was a delayed decision from umpire Dick French, but Wasim Bari just getting the hands underneath it, and Dick French, he was unsighted. He had to confirm with his opposite number, Robin Baylish, who gave him the nod and said it was out. And exit Graham Wood, 100 in the first innings, 1 in the second, and Australia 1 for 1.
Imran Khan bowling to Bruce Laird.
It's going to be very interesting to see how he gets on out there today. It was a good shot by Laird, flicked away on the leg side for 2.
This will be interesting, Tony, to see how Greg Chappell combats this wicket. He's become pretty paranoid about this MCG wicket in recent years, and let's not forget that the next Test match is going to be played here too against the West Indies.
Once again, Laird playing that ball away on the leg side. He's played a straight one very well. 2 more to him.
Plays very well off his hips, Bruce Laird. Square of the wicket. Seen him get out a couple of times in recent years, flicking the ball down the leg side, but on that occasion getting it right in the middle, playing it forward of square leg, presenting with 2 easy runs. And on the toes, just rolls the wrists.
And that's on the pad, and there's a big appeal for RBW, and just for a second I thought the hand was coming up there. Imran Khan looks just a little bit upset. That must have been very close.
It was close, Tony. Imran Khan driving Bruce Laird back the previous ball, playing it off the back foot, but that one was well pitched up, and Bruce Laird not coming forward. Robin Baylash giving it a lot of consideration before turning the appeal down.
And he must be very pleased with himself, the leading wicket-taker for Pakistan, and bowling very well now.
Sarfraz bowls to Chappell. Ooh, well, it was one right out of the box, everything else going along the ground, and that one really took off. 1 for 5. Imran Khan bowling to Bruce Laird. There's that swerving in-cutter. This time Laird was ready for it, perhaps half ready for it, because he finished up with a thick inside edge.
And that's his great delivery, which comes in very sharply. Got Chappell at breath. And Laird was ready for that one, and he played well. Laird, 31 years of age, debut in 79-80, 12 matches, 22 innings, 1 not out, 811 runs, High score 92, the West Indies in 79.80, 750s, an average of 38.62.
Right time that, Bruce Laird. That picked up 2 runs for it. 1 for 9, Australia. Laird has made 8. Sarfraz has 1 for none. Falls to Greg Chappell. Sarfraz is the wicket taker. Dismissed Graham Wood.
So Sarfraz among the wickets, and Bari also getting the ball into his gloves. He hasn't had a very good match so far, Wasim Bari, but he held on to that one.
And he's gone. Greg Chappell is out without scoring. 2 for 9, Australia, having been asked to follow on. Sarfraz gets Greg Chappell. Nice shot from side on, where you can see the ball actually come off the back of Greg Chappell's bat. Flew off the pad and then hit the bat and spooned up to Javed Miandad.
And Chappell, after criticizing this wicket, out for a duck.
Australia 2 for 9. Sarfraz now bowling to Bruce Laird, and Alan Border is again a victim of suicide running. It almost sneaked through. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. How on earth could you do a thing like that when you're following on? And it is the second time Border has been run out. The first time with Wood, the second time with Laird. I must say, when I watched Laird turning for 2, I didn't think there was any chance of them getting it, because Zahir was picking it up. And he threw to the bowler's end. A beautiful throw. And Sarfraz was there. Border wasn't. But what a piece of cricket.
This is just suicide on the part of the batsman there. The second run just wasn't there. And Zahir was latching onto the ball and Border hesitating. And I think the tension among the batsmen had grown. They knew that trouble was there.
Let's have another look at that. There are a couple of things there. One, that it never looked to me from here as though there were going to be 2 runs in it. But just have a look at Alan Border, the way he turns when he gets up to the end where Laird is now. Laird comes down. He's going to look for 2. It was always going to be risky. Border puts his bat in, hesitates, just assumed that Laird called. What a piece of cricket. They did that out in the park on a Saturday afternoon. You'd fall on the ground laughing.
It's well played. One played away behind point, going down towards third man. They're looking for 3, and they've got it. Good sharp running there by the Australians. It's the end of the over. 3 for 21. Al Qasim to resume the attack. Oh, and that turned quickly and beat the outside edge of the bat, pitching almost perfectly in line with off stump. And in fact, that ball knocked a little piece up of the wicket just as it pitched, and there it's been knocked down. If you just watch closely at the replay, you'll notice that as the ball pitched, a little piece was knocked up. There it is. And perfect length, that just outside off stump. So that's the edge of one of those cracks now, which is beginning to come loose. And that's in a very interesting place too, because it's almost dead in line with off stump, which suggests that the batsman is going to have to play. And of course, you saw the batsman there with the handle of his bat, just knocking it back in.
Really was a nasty crack. And that's been one of the causes of the fall of the Australian wickets today.
And he'll be looking for that little spot again. The ball pitched and, in fact, knocked a piece of the turf up. It was around about that spot.
And really, Jafar Miandad there had, shall we say, mixed reactions. That really carried him, I think. Let's have a look, see if the ball did carry. Miandad put it down. He was exasperated. And in desperation, he threw it at the bowler's end, hoping to run the batsman backing up out.
Yes, that was certainly a chance. Miandad juggling away with the ball. And he was upset that he dropped it. The ball turned off the outside edge, went to Javed very quickly, hit the right hand, bobbled around, and eventually hit the ground. So a clear opportunity there. Well played. One all the way along the ground. In the square of the wicket. 2 more to Laird.
Well, this game's seen some unusual dismissals, but there won't be one to better this for novelty.
Oh, and that might be out. That was off the boot of the wicketkeeper. He's given him out too. Yes, that's a very good decision, that by umpire Baylash. That ball deflected off the bat, down onto the wicketkeeper's boot and up into Majid's hands.
A great decision, but an extremely bad piece of luck for Kim Hughes. Look at this. He's letting the ball go. The ball hits the toe of the bat, hits the toe of the keeper. From there it goes up to the first slip position where Majid takes the catch. How unlucky can you be?
We might see a little better from this end. Have a look at the ball. Off the toe, Hughes just trying to take his bat away, hits the toe up in the air, and taken by Majid, who I don't think thought it was out. Javed Miandad wasn't too long to decide it was out. And what a magnificent decision that was by umpire Baylash. And very bad luck for Kim Hughes. 4 for 29.
Iqbal Kazim to Laird. Didn't time that, but got it away behind point for 2. Two more to Laird. Wasim Raja to Laird. It was very late and mixed appeal there. Seemed to me that Laird probably hit the ground. It's a half appeal from Wasim Bari. What caught? If he caught it, or if it came off the bat, it was a beautiful piece of fielding.
And great reflexes by that close-in fieldsman, Javed Miandad, just getting the hand underneath it. He was confident.
Those shouts again from up there, but again, it didn't seem to me that the wicketkeeper was interested at all. Certainly off the pad there. There didn't seem to be any deviation once it left the pad.
So the first boundary of the innings coming not only to Bruce Laird but to the Australian total. Raja straying down leg side. Bruce Laird getting a thick edge, and the ball had enough speed on it to take it down to the boundary.
Iqbal Kazim bowling to Dirk Wellham. Two more to Wellham. Takes it on for 3. 4 for 39.
Nice shot. Well, worked off the toes. Big 3 in it. Sarfraz won't get his nail caught in that throw.
Wasim Raja to Laird.
nice sweep shot then, but Bruce Laird does struggle when he does come to play on a wicket such as this Melbourne wicket, which does tend to hold. Oh, not again. Goodness me. Well, we've seen a lot of criticism pointed at Graham Wood with his running between the wickets, but his partner Bruce Laird not all that much better, and I think the best comments that I've heard this summer is coming from Ian Chappell, commentary box up in Brisbane, when he said when Bruce Laird's in, at the other end's got to do all the calling. Certain that Alan Border has learnt that message today, and he won't let out Bruce Laird do the calling when they're out there batting together in future years.
We're down for 48. Wasim to Bruce Laird, down the wicket, and it's well played by Laird. He's very strong on the onside, and his runs bringing up the 50. So a few cheers there from the crowd. Off the stumps and very well played, right off the middle of the bat. That's going down towards the square leg boundary for 4. So a good sweep shot that by Bruce Laird. Right on top of it. It was on the ground all the way to the boundary.
Swept well there, picked it off the stumps and swept it square to the square leg boundary, and the ball really travelling, and the umpire taking quick evasive action.
4 for 59. Manjid. And that one keeps low and turns just a little too. Well played in the end. Bruce Laird picking that one around the corner. He had to adjust pretty quickly there. Larger the fieldsman.
And that ball turned and kept a little low, but Laird was in good position to play it away down to fine leg.
Shove it me and Dad to Laird.
That pitched and swept away for 4 by Laird. Wasn't a good ball at all. Another pitched and swept away for the 3rd 4 of the innings.
A bad ball and asking for trouble, which it's duly got. 4 runs.
Yes, they're not really trying to flight the ball at all. It's not his way. I suppose he's just trying to get the odd one to keep low and hopefully just get it off the straight. That was his googly and very well played by Laird. Cut away, and will he get 3? He might well. This could be his 50. The ball going away down the 3rd man fence. Laird coming back for the 3rd. And so that's a very well played 50 by him. Laird acknowledging the applause of their crowd. He's hung in there as Wood did in the 1st innings, and he's got himself 50.
What a fine innings from Laird. He's overcome that trauma of the run-out, and it was 50, 125 balls, 163 minutes. It's a fine effort for Australia, and he's certainly playing the sheet anchor for the side.
Imran Khan bowling to Wellham.
That's well played, right in the middle of the bat that time, and played straight back past Imran. And getting 2. Laird having to rush a little bit down there. He was not in any sort of hurry, and all of a sudden realized when he was halfway down the pitch that the ball was coming back, and coming back pretty quickly as well.
That's a good shot of the front foot. He really moved into that half volley, and let's watch Laird now. Turns round. Suddenly he starts sprinting, and that ball goes over the stumps.
Iqbal Kazim to Laird.
And that's down the ground and out. Well, that one hit in the air, and really Laird, for some reason, decided to try and hit that ball down the ground. Perhaps it turned just a little bit and hit it straight to Sarfraz. Well, Sarfraz will be pretty happy to have taken that catch, because he made a mess of one in the 1st innings. That was straight to him, and he didn't make a mistake.
That's a flighted delivery, and Laird not to the pitch of it. Lofts it, and Sarfraz making A simple effort looked great, diving over, but Laird is back in the pavilion, and a good breakthrough for Pakistan.
And the score 5-4-77. He's bowled him. That one keeping low and sneaking through the defence there of Dirk Wellham, and the stumps all over the place. Well, he doesn't look very happy now, and Safraz, on the other hand, absolutely ecstatic. Wellham bowled by Safraz.
Not a very good shot. It seemed to me that Wellham was almost going away slightly, and he left a gap, did he not, between bat and pad. The ball certainly keeping low and hitting the base of the leg stump, but the gap was there to be penetrated. The bat, in fact, the bat was lifted a little bit towards second slip, I thought, and Wellham, playing across the line of it, left the gate open, and as a result, the 6th wicket has fallen with 78 runs on the board.
But his downfall in the end, that was a really ill-advised shot to spinner, and the ball hit the off stump.
It's quite extraordinary how many cross-batted shots have led to the downfall of Australian batsmen in this game.
Oh, he's bowled him. Well, that one obviously was another attempted drive down the ground, the ball beating the inside edge of the bat and hitting off stump. So that's the end of Yardley, bowled by Imran Khan.
Let's have a look at that again. It may well be that Yardley got an inside edge onto this. No, if it was a very fine inside edge. The foot was nowhere near the pitch of the ball. The bat was a long way from the pad. There was aggression in the stroke, but not much technique. So, yet another duck's egg was recorded against the batsman.
And that is out, caught behind. Don't think Lily's too pleased about it. Don't think he's pleased about it at all. Umpire Dick French has given him out. Caught Wasim Bari. Iqbal Kazim's bowling.
He finishes Dennis Lilly's appearance at the crease. Very frustrating game for him. Thought he was going to break the record. And that outside edge, Dick French upholding the appeal. Caught behind, just plods forward, changed his line, went over the wicket, and a very confident appeal. So Kazim, his 3rd wicket, and Australia 8 for there in the Snock.
And that's all he's going to make. That cry of anguish there was because he knew he'd hit it to Mohsin Khan. A little bit of extra bounce there, and Rodney Marsh has clubbed it straight to the man at point, the only man out there with a chance of catching it.
Mohsin Khan took a great catch yesterday to get rid of Graham Wood, and then quite a good catch also. Looked at one part as though it wasn't going to carry, and he had to come forward, lunging and grabbing it, falling and holding onto it, which was the important thing to do. So, good catch by Mohsin Khan. Exit Rodney Marsh. He's out for 21, and now Australia 9 for 121.
In a bid to finish off this Australian innings. And that has done it. And a fitting way to end the Test match, with Pakistan winning by an innings and 82 runs, their biggest ever victory over Australia. They've never before beaten Australia by an innings. It's a great performance, and what a way to finish it, Iftikhar, with that tremendous delivery from Imran Khan, the one we've talked about so much, that marvellous in-swirl.
That was a beautiful delivery, and a few Pakistan supporters there cheering the captain off. I'm sure he must be thinking about Brisbane now. If his side had batted just an hour longer, the series here could have been drawn, and I'm sure all the Pakistan players must be thinking that. But a good toss to win by Mirdad, a good performance by them, and they've salvaged a great deal of their pride.
And Iftikhar, as we watch this last dismissal, congratulations to you and your team for an extremely good victory, an innings and 82 runs. Jeff Thompson, the last man out, bowled by Imran Khan.
Thank you very much, Richie. It's been a pleasure being here, and on Channel 9, of course. It's been a wonderful experience.
And well, that's the way it was with Australia's second innings, 125. They started off 207 behind when asked to follow on by Javed Mirdad, and only Bruce Laird was able to get past 50. And there weren't all that many double-figure scores. Bruce Laird 52, Kim Hughes 11, Dirk Wellham 13, Rodney Marsh 21, and Jeff Thompson, the last man out, for 17. Well, I should think that Javed Miandad is a very, very happy man now. He's not actually won the series, but he has done something that Pakistan were hoping for very much, and that is to be able to please the fans back home